see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, October 8th, 2024, and welcome to episode 780 of the Lots Project Morning Show, where the coffee is strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter-free. I'm Brian, your host, and today I'm going to be enjoying a light Nicaraguan right here in front of you on the screen. It's from foodforestfarms.com, where you can get 10% off with discount code LOTS10, LOTS10, and the shipping is always free. While you're there, check out C4 Club with all the benefits and that fantastic coffee coming to your front door every single month. Today, I'm going to have a reminder for us all. A friend of mine had a very shitty experience the other night. We discussed it yesterday and both realized that this is something that we should probably be talking about in this space, but nobody seems to be mentioning it. No one seems to be talking about it at all. And then I also have some other things on the list here about some empty shelves and what other nonsense comes up. But good morning. How is everyone doing? John Palmer in early, shifting the good morning everyone message from John Palmer. Usually used to be coming in about 6:40, 6:50. Now he must think the show is halfway decent, starts coming in before it even starts. Thanks, John. Good morning. How are you? Cormac, how's it going? Good morning. Hunter over on Twitch, holding down the fort over there. How did your project turn out last night, Hunter? I jumped on the live stream over there on TikTok, and you're beating away on some metal, and I had to get going on some other work and couldn't stick around to watch. But what were you making? Were you making one of those hopper poppers? Looked like you were having fun. Good morning, Rewilder Life. Thanks for stopping in. Sorry you had to stomach that political ad on the way in. Michael Williams, getting the whip crack down over there at Bare Bones. Mike says, good morning. Everyone at Bare Bones says hello. These murdering sons of bitches just killed these poor sheep. Oh, is the backdoor butcher over there? Does he have his pants on? Canadian Farmstead swinging in over on the vertical feed. Good morning to you over there. Thanks for popping in. I think that giant butcher is hanging out with you guys today. And look at that. Canadian Farmstead comes over to the main feed. Bam, there he is. I think today was the day that Kyle was stopping and helping Joe and the crew over at Bare Bones. By the way, Joe, I think you need to start passing out your t-shirts to people in your area, because I wore it yesterday out at Michael Williams said, yeah, he's there and just graped one of the sheep. That's not good. Wore one of Joe's shirts out. He him and his wife were kind enough to bring shirts, and I ended up with one at SRF, and I wore it out yesterday when I went to the grocery store and do laundry and running errands that I normally do on my Fridays. And 2 for 2, first 2 stops, first 2 stops out on the town yesterday at Tractor Supply, and then the laundromat. I had 2 people ask me if I was a butcher, if that was my business, or if that's where I worked and where it was, because they were looking for butchers. So if you're an aspiring butcher, hey, Mr. Williams, you're looking to move to Tennessee and start your own butcher shop, because I think there might be a need in this local area for butchers. It hasn't been the first time I've been asked about where to get custom meat. So one lady was looking for to buy meat and the other one was the guy was looking to have some stuff processed and then and get the meat back. So I think there might be a need down here for some butchers, boys. What does it take to I obviously know I know I don't have the skill or the experience to cut meat, but I could probably round some people up. What do we think about starting up a butcher shop down here in South? I guess this is Southwest Tennessee. I think that's what it's called. Canadian Farmstead says, I thought Kyle was French, not Welsh. It happens. It happens to the best of them. You get in there with that sheep, you're looking at it, and then she gives you that little wink, and then you shoot it in the back of the head, and it's just there. I mean, how can you help yourself sometimes, Canadian? Oh, anyway, it was a good day yesterday. I took off and did the normal Friday routine on Monday because we were a little tied up on Friday out at Delinquent Scully, and I wasn't able to get my weekly grocery shopping, laundry, all that stuff. We prepared for that. We bought ahead. We knew we weren't going to be able to do it, but we needed to catch up right at the beginning of the week. When you move into a camper, you do minimalist things. You get rid of all your shit. One thing you pare down on is clothes. So we run a pretty tight cycle on how much clothes we have, and especially the things that get the dirtiest. Yeah, you get, I carry probably 13 days worth of clothes. And then by that 13th day, I'm wearing stuff. I look like I look like I should probably be sleeping in a cardboard box. Oh no. Good morning, Pip. Good morning, Pip. I'm glad you had a safe trip home. Let's see what Pip has to say. Good morning, humans. Was at work for 7 minutes before blood pressure skyrocketed due to coworkers fucking off all last week. Oh, Pip. Pip. I present to you the key to not giving a fuck. That or winning the lottery, I guess. That or winning the lottery. Canadian Farmstead Pip needs the Stoic book. Hey, guys, check out the new t-shirt. You can get 10% off at bitcoinshirt.com. Bitcoinshirt.com. Ordered a bunch of shirts from them for SRF. They came in time, and they're comfortable. They're really comfortable. I was glad I ordered them. They seem quality made. I washed a couple yesterday. They didn't seem like they flaked off right away. Might order a size up. Might. I'm not sure. I think they're gonna be fine. I might suggest ordering a size up if you're kind of in between sizes. Maybe go with that little larger one. I'm not sure how much they're gonna end up shrinking in the end, but seem to be very, very comfortable. They're nice and soft, and the material looks good. And I also have one of their hockey jerseys on the way because when I ordered the shirts and realized how many awesome shirts they had over there, 12 plus pages of Bitcoin shirts to choose from. Short sleeve, long sleeve, hoodies, and hockey jerseys now. And I started adding the ones I wanted into my cart, and ended up with almost $500 worth of t-shirts in my shopping cart. And those were the ones that I really wanted, not the ones that I almost, kind of liked. I realized it's probably a solid company to reach out to about getting a coupon code, an affiliate relationship with them. I reached out, and they had closed it down, actually, their affiliate program, but I don't know. I might have been excited about their t-shirts because she says, you're pretty enthusiastic about this, so why don't we fire it back up? Guys, if you're looking for some Bitcoin gear, some Bitcoin t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, long sleeve t-shirts, the hockey jerseys look really cool. I can't wait to get my hands on one and show you guys what it looks like. Head on over there, bitcoinshirt.com, and the Lots Project will get you 10% off. Check it out. Yeah. I feel a little rested today. I feel as though yesterday I was still in like workday festival, just get up and pound it out and go through the motions, make it through it. And then last night I finally got some good sleep and woke up this morning and I was like, oh, all right, here, ready to go. Anyway, first topic of the day. Had a conversation with a real good friend of mine yesterday morning. I can say his name. He's also going to be talking about this topic. I'm not going to share a ton of the details. I'll leave that to him. But my buddy Kerry Brown was out with us at Delinquent Gully Days at the Build and Bash. He installed a huge food forest nursery with the help of everybody there. I'm not going to say he did it himself because there were a bunch of us down there. I posted a picture in the Telegram group, but Kerry stayed around for the festival and then took off at the end of Sunday. Ran into a little issue on the way home. So Kerry was driving along in rural Tennessee, not on the highway across rural Tennessee, about 3/4 of the way home. And Cherries came on behind him, pulled him over. Kerry had a trailer. He was pulling behind him. It was in his understanding. As he had seen it somewhere written that trailers under 8 foot didn't need trailer lights. Sounds reasonable. I mean, I could see it going either way. We had some weird, funky laws in different places I've been at different times. I've been there when they've changed to where you didn't need lights. You do need lights. You don't need lights during the day. You need lights from an hour before dusk till an hour after dawn. It was different rules for boat trailers, for RV trailer, for 4-wheeler trailers. It was a mess from what I recall when I was doing the trailer research. So Kerry didn't have lights on his trailer. Got pulled over. Big old redneck backwoods fucking sheriff deputy comes walking up to his car. Good morning, Jamie. How we doing? Thanks for stopping in. Off Grid Ping. So cop asks, starts asking questions going on and on. Kerry had a shitty time. Let's say, Kerry had some stuff with him. Totally legal stuff. Some hemp from a community member. Not Delta 9, not any CBD. It was hemp. Grown and certified by the state, certified by whoever it had to be certified from that it was just hemp. But he had a big old bag of it in his snack case for making tea. He also had, his firearm on him, which was totally legal. He had some tools that he wasn't sure if they were to the letter of the law legal. He maybe had a knife that had a bigger than a 3-inch blade, or he wasn't sure in that county, because a lot of the things here in Tennessee will go county to county. He wasn't sure what he had that was possibly legal or illegal. When the officer asked him if he had anything illegal in the car, Kerry says he admittedly kind of hesitated when he, as he thought real quick. He didn't want to say no and end up lying to the police, I guess. And so he said no, but he hesitated a little bit. Piqued the cop's interest. Cop starts talking. Cop starts asking questions. Cop starts asking if he can search the vehicle. Cop starts looking at the trailer. Cop finds hemp. Cop decides he's going to be a hero and really runs Kerry through the ringer. Kerry was able to not end up going to jail, not end up going to prison, not end up getting arrested. But after sitting in the back of the cop car, having his Jeep tossed and all sorts of other stuff, ended up walking away actually without even a ticket for all his troubles. Carrie will be talking about the story more in depth. I heard it secondhand. It was quick, but you kind of get the gist of the story. But at the end of the conversation, Carrie and I kind of dove in and really he mentioned the fact that we don't talk about this enough in our communities. You want to know the number one rule about fucking police? And Carrie says, Carrie and I are coming up with some t-shirts and some stickers and stuff. And the best one that he shot me yesterday said, you remember Frankie Goes to Hollywood? Just says relax. Frankie says relax. Carrie says, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and don't talk to the fucking cops. Yes, sir. No, sir. Here's my documents, sir. Am I being detained? What am I being pulled over for? Can I leave? Those are the words that come out of your mouth. Do I consent to a search? No, I don't. No. No, no, no. None of your fucking business. Where are you coming from? None of your business. Am I being detained? Can I leave? Shut the fuck up and don't say anything. And it's poignant because my friend had nothing illegal on him. He also happened to have a big wad of cash in his glove box because, you know, he got paid for doing a job. Oh, at the place I just told you about, you know, that innocuous when I mentioned Carrie was out there and he installed a bunch of trees. Well, somebody had to pay for the trees, and it was him because he was buying them, but they weren't his trees. Somebody paid him back, and he happened to give him a roll of cash for it. That was in the glove box. So although he had a roll of cash, he had a bag, big old bag that looked like weed, he was doing nothing wrong. But because he hesitated, because the cop looked at the picture and saw what he wanted, it could have turned out really, really, really bad for Carrie. Really bad. Guys, just because you don't have something to hide doesn't mean you should let them do what they want. Because even though you might not think you don't have anything to hide, maybe the cop's looking at you, looking at the picture and seeing what they want to see. Maybe that cop has to be a hero and do something and make the big score. So my friend was harassed for no reason other than he had a fucking plant, a totally legal plant in the back on his trailer. He had a roll of cash, which he legally was given and will, I'm sure, report to the IRS. I'm sure he will. There was nothing going on. There was nothing going on. But he ended up sitting in the back of the cop car with a canine dog because they brought the canine dog because we're going to have to sniff test the car, you know. Cop tested the flower, I guess, tested the hemp several times and was confused why he wasn't getting a hit for THC. Couldn't believe it. As Carrie's telling him, it's hemp. It's legal. My friend grows it. I can't really prove it to you right now. I don't happen to have the certification on you, but this is easily provable. I can understand both sides. I can understand the guy that has the profession that is the boot of the state, but it happens. Shut the fuck up if you get pulled over. You do have stuff to hide. You do have things to protect. You have your rights to protect. So just shut up. No one talks about it. Carrie and I said, you know, we go to Self-Reliance Festival year after year. Carrie's been there since the beginning. I've been there since almost the beginning. We have preppers, we have anarchists, we have this general attitude of leave us the fuck alone. Some folks there do things that might be gray areas, might be black areas, might be borderline. I don't think we've ever really had, we were trying to remember, I couldn't remember, he couldn't remember, a presentation on what to do in scenarios where you're having interactions with police. What a simple concept. What a simple concept. Carry through a link to the Pop Brothers lawyers. I think it's their Pop Brother lawyers. I had seen them quite a bit before, but they give advice on all the gray areas of the legal weed areas, and they did a funny video with Ian Rappaport that it was the Shut the Fuck Up Fridays. They do Shut the Fuck Up Fridays. And basically, that's it. Canadian Farmstead says, be polite, give no more information than required, and remember you can have your day in court, even if that's a waste of your time and money. How does that go up in Canada? Are you guys kind of similar to down here? Canadian Farmstead says there's no benefit in escalating things with the cops. I hear that. I'm gonna pull up ChatGPT. I forgot to copy and paste it, but I was curious, because ChatGPT sometimes sways, sometimes is biased. Somebody had to put the parameters in, somebody had to put the data sets in, things like that. So I wanted to see what ChatGPT would say to my question. Before that, Hunter says, I've heard a lot of cops say, don't show me yours and I won't show you mine. I wonder if a civilian said that to a cop, how they would react. Right. Off-Grid Ping says, delete laws on YouTube is a good channel that runs through cop scenarios. There's a bunch out there. I just don't think the people in this space seem to talk about it enough. Carrie and I are both pretty deep into these circles, and neither of us really recall a emphasis on it. We remembered an episode, and Brian Young brought it up in one of the groups. Episode Jack did with someone about what to do after a legal shooting scenario, like a self-defense permit to carry shooting. That's pretty specific, but I don't think we talk a lot about what happens when the cop knocks on your door. What happens when the cop pulls you over? What are your rights and what do you say? Shut the fuck up. Don't say anything is what you say. So I asked ChatGPT. I was curious. I said, let me see. The question was, what is the bare minimum to do when pulled over by police? Pretty simple. I didn't try to assuade it to any particular thought patterns or anything like that. And it said, when pulled over by police, it's important to remain calm and follow these basic steps to ensure your safety and compliance. Number 1, pull over safely. Use your turn signal. Pull over safe location as soon as you can. 2, stay calm and polite. Keep your hands visible on the steering wheel. Avoid sudden movements. Provide documents. When asked, provide your driver's license, vehicle registration, and proof of insurance. That's kind of a requirement for driving that car. I guess depending on where what sovereign citizen group you're reading. It says number 4, limit your conversation. You have the right to remain silent beyond providing your identification and documents, i.e., shut the fuck up. You're not required to answer questions about where you are going, coming from, or other personal details. That's the key point. You're not required to answer questions about where you are going, where you're coming from, or other personal details. The cop has no right to know anything other than you about that immediate situation and the reason they pulled you over. Oh, yeah. Ask him that. Number Canadian Farm says try to avoid words like pig and jackbooted thug. That's usually a solid idea to keep them in a good mood. 5, do not consent to searches. Politely say, I do not consent to any searches. If asked, they may still search your vehicle, but this preserves your legal rights. If you don't consent, they need probable cause. What they think is probable cause, what your attorney thinks they thought was probable cause might not be the same thing. And same with a judge. Do not consent to a search. Then they have to prove why they're getting in your car. If you let them in, they don't need any cause. You just said, tear my life apart and take a look. Then, number 6, ask if you are free to go. If you're not being detained or arrested, politely ask, am I free to go? Ask that early and often. Am I free to go, officer? No, you got to go write me a ticket. Okay, as soon as he hands the ticket, thank you, officer. Am I free to go? Get the fuck away from him. They ask questions. They ask leading questions. They are trained to find some reason to fucking fine you, to arrest you, to ticket you. Don't give them that reason. ChatGPT summarizes with following these steps helps protect your rights while maintaining a respectful interaction. Just like Canadian Farm says, try to avoid words like pig and jackbooted thug. Save those for the podcast after. Oh, so guys, just remember, keep it in your brain. Kerry said he's going to get a sticker to put on his dash or on the window of his car. So if he ever gets pulled over again, he looks at it and he's like, shut the fuck up, Kerry. John Palmer says it gets a little different when you're driving a CMV. Well, stop driving a CMV, John Palmer. It does get a little different. They have the right to inspect that, right? Because you're performing commerce over state lines or some shit, or on interstates. Or as soon as I started going down that you got to get a DOT physical to drive a Sprinter van, I was like, it's getting a little stupid. The transition there, I believe it comes with the Interstate Commerce Act. So anyway, regulated vehicle, right? Okay, sounds like a lot of fun. But usually you don't have your bag of weed under your seat, I don't think, John. Or in the back of the trailer. But anyway, just remember it. BLM, what's going on? What is my channel about? My channel is about a lot of things. I do a daily morning show, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Central. Today we're talking about don't fucking talk to the cops when they pull you over. But we talk everything from Bitcoin to self-sufficiency to off-grid living to whatever's on my mind. Whatever's on my mind at the day. And then I also do review videos and things of that nature. So show choices. John says don't do weed personally anymore. Yeah, having to piss in that cup really put the downer on the old Toki Toke. When they can pull you in and make you urinate and you lose your livelihood. Hunter says this show is about shoe choices, BLM, just so you know. In case you were wondering about the high fashion of Paris and Milan, what's coming out in the shoe industry, you should tune into this. We'll talk about it every once in a while, so you're going to have to listen for quite a bit. Oh boy. So just wanted to mention that I felt horrible listening Hunter is true. Hunter mentions a valid point though. We talk about work boots. I've talked about several pairs of work boots that I've gotten, and then also barefoot living and no shoes. I guess there is a small portion of the show that is about shoes. Jesus. What would I do without you guys to remind me? Yeah, I felt bad for Carrie. He sends me a message that night. He's like, I got a story for you. I was getting ready for bed. I was like, well, that's no good. Now I'm going to be in suspense all night. And then he calls in the morning and tells the story. And I was just like, oh my God, man, that's a nightmare. And Carrie readily admits he's seen cops do this to folks. Carrie was paramedic for a long time. He says in the field, on scene, he's watched cops roll people like this. He's watched cops spin people in circles and get them to say the things they do to pursue them further, to basically circumnavigate their rights. Back in his punk days, where he was hanging out with a bunch of hoodlums and riding around on their bikes and dumpster diving and doing all sorts of punk shit. He's actually taken the classes at how to avoid interactions with police when they would go and protest and go to protests and things like that. They were trained in how to act with police, and he's like, it all went out the window. He was tired. It was dark. He had just had a long weekend at the festival. He wasn't feeling the greatest because it was hot. And it just slipped his mind. And he said he didn't know if he thought that, I don't have anything to hide. If I just agree with the cop, I'll get on my way sooner. All I want to do is get home. I still have 2 hours to drive. All these things are going through his head. All these things are going through your head when you get pulled over. Maybe you get nervous. Maybe you unintentionally get nervous. I used to, when the lights would come on behind me, I'd get that little tingle in the back of my neck, and I'm like, fuck. I just want to be away from them. But it does you no good. It does you no good just to comply. Comply enough, as much as you're required to, and then shut the fuck up. Hopefully it saves somebody a rough ride here and soon. Well, I hope none of you ever have to deal with the police ever again in your lives. That would be my golden wish for all of you. If I could grant you all a gift, it would be that you never have to interact with the police ever again. So anyway, let's move on. Let's move on a little bit. I mentioned earlier that I went and did our Friday. Oh, man, excuse me. Went and did our normal Friday stuff. Ran down to the big city of Savannah, and did laundry. Went and got propane. Went and got some other supplies. Went to the butcher shop. I now have stopped buying meat at Kroger because I don't know what happened. And if anybody's from Kroger's listening, what happened to your fucking meat? What happened to the beef and the pork at Kroger? I have no idea. When we got down here and started going to Kroger, I think, didn't we start going to Kroger a little bit in Texas too? Or no, that was HEB. Heb. Oh yeah, the Heb. When we got up here, started going to Kroger. And I was very impressed by their meat. Their pork was good. Their beef was good. We didn't buy a whole lot of beef. We had some of our own. But as we ran out of steaks and things like that, we picked up some at Kroger. But it was like a light switch went off, and all of a sudden, the pork got kind of crappy. The beef got really, really crappy. Taste wise, texture wise, the fat changed in it. It was no good. Like literally, the price went up and the quality got just ridiculously shitty. So we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do. We didn't want to buy we didn't want to buy any more bulk beef or pork until we're settled in with a freezer that will accommodate it. And so we weren't sure what we wanted to do. Walmart, surprisingly enough, you can get by with something that actually tastes decent. But I didn't really want to have to go to Walmart every week again. The clientele at Kroger, the employees at Kroger are way better, but their meat all of a sudden just took a turn. So we were kind of trying to figure out what we wanted to do. A couple weeks ago, I don't know, I had seen it a bunch of times. Man, hat's all crooked. I think I slept on it or something. I had seen it a bunch of times since we've been here, but there was a little butcher shop kind of right in the area where I got to go. And when I go down to get groceries, and Corey and I decided to stop in there, see what they had, like how the prices were, if it was through the roof, if it was comparable, and how the meat was. So we stopped in there. We picked up some pork chops. We picked up a couple steaks, some bacon. Off-Grid Ping says, "Where's the butcher in Savannah?" It's Savannah Meats. It's right by. You know where the UPS store is? You come into Savannah on it would be 69, and you keep going straight there. You don't go down by Tractor Supply. You go to that first light where it's almost like a Y four-way stop. You take a left, and the UPS store is right there. It's like the next block, next to that Williams Lumber, basically. Is that Williams Lumber? Yeah, really tiny little place. But we picked up steaks, pork chops, chicken breast, and bacon. Nice wide variety of meats that you can pick up. And I don't know how much they process there, what they're getting in. Yesterday when I stopped, their delivery truck had broken down, so they weren't going to have bacon till Thursday. So they obviously are getting bacon in. I'm guessing they get it in bulk and slice it there because it looks like it's packaged there. They do have a butcher shop that you can see through behind the glass, and then they have cases with meat in them. The meat's fantastic, and it's cheaper. It's weird. It's cheaper than Kroger. Don't let anybody in Savannah know because I don't want to run on the butcher shop. But they seem to be pretty busy. They're very friendly. I've mentioned to Corey every time I've gone there that they're super friendly. So that was a good score. Found that, so I stopped there. But at Kroger yesterday, walking around. If you haven't listened to the show before, I basically get what's on my grocery list. Corey makes a grocery list. I go get the groceries. If it's on the list, it goes in the cart. If it's not on the list, it doesn't. Well, kinda. I got a box of Cheez-Its yesterday because I'm trying to detox from all the snacks and shit at SRF and work days. And so to transition out, I got a box of Cheez-Its. The one thing that wasn't on the list yesterday. But usually I stick right to the list. Man, tickles this morning. And I try to complete grocery shopping as quickly as possible. So when Corey comes along, she slows me down. I get a little irritated, but she was at home yesterday. She stayed home. She had some stuff to do here. She enjoys the time away from me, I think. But anyway, walking around getting all the groceries and had toilet paper on the list, and so I headed over to the paper products aisle. I turned the corner, and the shelves are empty. Like there were literally, I posted a picture in the Telegram group. There were just a couple of small packages. I guess the top row of all the 4-packs that are just as much as the 12 packs, but they're this big, so you pay out the ass for them. And there were some of those, but the main bulk of the toilet paper, the bigger packs that people are normally grabbing, pretty much gone. couple of packages right in the middle were left. Rewilder Life says, I got plenty of political mailers to use, right? I hear that. I don't get them. Maybe we do. Is your mom got a pile of political mailers for us? Tell her to burn them. So I was like, what the fuck? They didn't have our brand. So we have to be careful about what we get for our composting toilet. We got some extra plush stuff once, and it basically just filled up the can, the storage bucket of the composting toilet super fast, and it didn't start to break down. And I was like, no, we can't be changing the toilet that often. Went back to what we normally use, and they didn't have that. They didn't have. I had to buy a comparable, what I thought was a comparable brand. I think we'll be doing all right, but it made me. I was like, wait a second, is this COVID 2.0? Is this another TP run? What is going on? Is this the dock worker strike? Do we get our toilet paper from China? I wasn't sure what was going on. It could have just been it was Monday and they didn't get their truck in yet. But the shelves were very, very bare for me to think that. And I got home, and you get in this space, you start thinking conspiracy theories, you start thinking about all this shit and put it together. And sometimes you just need somebody to tell you what's probably actually going on. I get home and my wife says, yeah, it's the hurricane. And I'm thinking, the hurricane's going to go through Florida. Why would there be a toilet paper run here? It's like Wednesday. It's going to hit Florida. It's not even supposed to come up. We're not even supposed to get rain from it. I'm just like running through scenarios in my head how the hurricane that's about to happen is affecting the toilet paper supply. And then she said the next part, everybody here is buying it and sending it to North Carolina. I can't say that she's wrong. I probably would lean more towards that she's right. But it made me think, everybody prepares for the disaster in their area. Do you guys prepare for when there's a disaster kind of close to you and everybody wants to send supplies and strips the shelves? Do you think about that? John Palmer says there is a Kimberly Clark facility about 10 miles away from me that makes toilet paper. What brand is Kimberly Clark? Isn't a brand of toilet paper, is it? Do they make toilet paper for several types of I don't know. I don't know Kimberly Clark. I knew a Kimberly Clark once. I don't think she was into making toilet paper, though. As you can see here, Bitcoin is down. We're at 62,535. Red light, no good. Red light, no good. Rewilder Life says, just have all the stuff. It's why I'm not a minimalist. Yeah. Corey and I also talked about that. We're excited to have a cabin. Even when I shouldn't say if, I have a pretty strong gut feeling that we'll end up on the road again at some point with a different setup, learning all the things we've learned from this go around will make it different and easier and better, I believe. But we're excited to have a place to have some cash, some stockpiles, some supplies to fall back on when we want to. We always considered having a storage locker in Minnesota. It was like the big things. Like, do we really want to sell our 4-wheelers? We just bought them a few years ago. It turns out we were able to sell them for what we bought them for and just rented them basically for free and used them. John Palmer says to Kimberly Clark, oh, you see their dispensers in public bathrooms. Oh, so they make the Clint Eastwood toilet paper. It doesn't take shit off of nobody. Rewild Life says she also can't just grab crackers to eat and depend on others to feed me. Yeah, you do have some issues with sourcing food, I imagine. But we'd like a place to have, a stockpile of toilet paper. We'd like a place to have a stockpile of rations. We would like to get back to going to the grocery store monthly instead of weekly, or as little as possible for things that we can't produce ourselves. You can't really do that in an RV. You can't buy that half a beef. You can't buy that half a pig. I mean, you can. You have to work around and pay a premium, and there's ways to do it, and we've kind of discovered those, but we much preferred being reliant on ourselves. Kind of comes with this space. So we're excited to have that, even to have that building. But the reason we didn't do it in Minnesota was because we really didn't want to go back there. We kept thinking, what do we do when we find someplace? What do we do? Do we drive a trailer up there and pick up all our stuff and bring it down where we want to be? We probably could. Would it be more expensive than just getting the stuff again? Paying the place to store it, paying the transport costs, worrying about it while we're not there, stuff like that. But if it's our place and we plan on visiting it often, why not? Why not? So we're excited to have that opportunity when we get our cabin. It's going to be designed to have the storage capabilities to do that stuff. It's going to be small. It's going to be compact, but it's also going to be minimalist for the stuff we're using day to day. So we'll have an opportunity to build some cool storage into it, using vertical space, using cubby holes, making cupboards. Corey reached into the cupboard here in the RV yesterday and just said, I can't wait to have cupboards again where they're side by side and not 4 feet deep. I don't know. Can your arm get all the way to the back of the cupboard? She's got short arms. She's a tiny girl. She's a little girl. And she's got short arms and can't get her arm all the way to the back of the cupboard. So how useful is that? You would think that if she had a halfway tech or build savvy husband, he would have built her like the pull out shelves that like roll out. She probably would have liked that. It is what it is. Rachel feels your pain. Oh, let's see. So yeah, empty shelves, not necessarily for the disasters in your area, not necessarily for the ones on the news, directly affecting you, not the dock workers. And well, maybe it was. I don't know. I'll be interested to see when I go next time on my normal day if it was just happened to be the delivery cycle. Is it related to sending supplies across the state to the area that got hit by the hurricane, or is it the dock workers strike, or did a toilet paper factory burn down? I don't know. I don't think it was the toilet paper factory because it was all brands. So I imagine everybody wanted to donate to the cause of the. I should have went to the bottled water aisle. I should have went to the bottled water aisle and compared it to the toilet paper aisle, because I think that would have been pretty telling where the products were going. But anyway, anybody got any ideas about giving this away? I want to do something a little different. I want to pump the coffee crew a little bit in the morning. I want to share the show. I keep going back to the giveaway that the Jack at TSP did way back when he was getting started, when he gave away an iPod. Basically, he said you got to share the show and email me. There's no entry form. There's no blah, 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 all that. Basically share the show with someone, and on your honor, come and let me know and you'll be entered. Would that work for you guys? You think? I think, I don't remember the exact way it went down. I don't know if you got more entries for sharing more. I do remember there were folks burning CDs of the show and like leaving it in the break room and shit. I can't remember how it all went down. I'm pretty sure that it was, I started listening after that. I have secondhand account of this, and then him talking about it at different points. I want to say you just had to on your honor, just email him and you got entered. I'm wondering if we should do that in the Telegram group, and that'll be kind of twofold. We can share the group. We can share the show. If you share the show, come in the Telegram group and post it, and then you get entered in the drawing. Or I'll have a pinned message and you reply to that. Got to trust your audience, right? I'm trying to figure it out. The giveaway sting is I'm not a big fan anymore after this many times of doing shit. The YouTube giveaways, the email list giveaway, all of it seems to be more work. more work than the juice isn't worth the squeeze. And I always feel like, Loco does win a lot. I always feel like the people that don't even listen, don't even participate or things like that always end up winning. So if we can figure out a way to get everybody that participates to actually have a chance, and only people that participate and reward action would be a good way to do it. So nothing official yet, but more than likely it's going to be down the lines of sharing the show with someone that you know or think would like to listen or participate in the mornings. Particularly the live stream YouTube feed in the morning. Join the coffee crew in the live chat, and then we'll pop over into the Telegram group and draw from that pool. Let's get that kicking a little bit. I like the Telegram group. I like the size. I really enjoy the folks that participate over there. It's a fraction of the people that are in the group. So maybe we'll do some group thinning. See who's actually got it hidden and archived and put away, but they're just a member because they are. We'll do some investigative research. So we got that. What else do I have here? We got a little bit of time left. Oh, fear. There was I had an interesting conversation. So it's turned into 2 or 3 conversations actually. But it popped up during one of the live streams that we did during SRF. We had a content creator tent there, and equipment was kind of, we had some issues with equipment. We had some issues with the tent. So it didn't go as smoothly as possible, but we did have the opportunity to live stream a couple times. One of them was with Nicole Sauce, and we got talking, and several other people, and we got talking. She was talking about part of one of the presentations at SRF that she was doing, and it's pretty consistent every time. She asked the crowd what they're afraid of. Why are they there? What are you afraid is going to happen? Why are you prepping, basically? And you would get over the years, you get all the answers, in inflation or nuclear war or EMP or the Democrats or the Republicans or all the things that people are afraid of. Why they prep, why their eyes open up, whatever. We're afraid of natural disasters. This year, she said that she asked and no one had anything. No one was particularly scared of anything. Nothing specific, at least. And we also talked about the fact that the vibe there was kind of different. Yeah, this past one. It was, I want to say, people were interacting more on the individual level, talking to people, talking in small groups, sharing their information, building that community. And I told her, the fact that no one's scared of anything or didn't want to speak up, or there was nothing prominent enough for them to say, this is what I'm scared of, is probably a function of us doing our job. Hunter says, ain't scared of shit. I'm scared of a lot of things, but it makes it tolerable because I know I have community. Because I know if anything happens that I'll be able to figure it out. Bless you, Corey. Not because I can do everything, and not because I have prep stacked to the ceiling, because I don't. Because I have community that can help me out with it. When my internet goes sideways, my friends Norman and Herschel are kind enough to let Corey work there, so she continued to work and make money. If my camper for some reason fell apart, I would have someplace to stay. I would be able to find someplace to stay. We've built that community to know that we can be taken care of. But I told her if people are less scared, the more you do your festival, it's working. Because they're realizing that they don't need to be scared. They just need to figure out how to get through the shitty things, the things they're scared of. It's working. Off-Grid Ping says he's scared of spiders. I can't help you with spiders, man. There are a lot of fucked up spiders in Tennessee, let me tell you. Coming from Minnesota and experiencing the spiders and the snakes and the bugs, there are the weirdest, biggest, flying, running, jumping bugs and spiders and snakes and things here that I'd never dealt with. In New York, there was a little bit more than Minnesota, but Minnesota got so cold that it killed anything that got any size in the winter. It seems like Tennessee is mild enough that these bugs just keep growing all year round, and all of a sudden you got things that are the size of a softball. Other Life says only scared of the loss of loved ones, which includes friends. It's inevitable, though. It really is. I think the way to overcome that fear, Rachel, is just to make the most of the time you have with them while they're here, because we're all dying. We're all dying every minute we're here, and we just don't know when that clock ticks, and whether it's naturally or by accident or on purpose. The only way you can get past that fear is to just make the most of the time you have with them. It is what it is. There's no prepping. That is the prepping for that, I suppose. Off Grid Pink says, go outside at night with your headlamp on and eyes everywhere. That is an interesting experiment when we're out at Delinquent Scully. Is in the evening, if I have to relieve myself and head outside in the dark, it is really dark out there, and when you shine your headlamp or your flashlight off into the woods, it's interesting. It's cool. It's really cool. But it makes you not want to walk down any of the trails at night. Rewiler Life says, oh, I know we have one parent left and have lost friends. It's why this life is so important. It gives me time to enjoy them. Correct. Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. It's gonna happen. It's the one thing. It's the one thing we all can guarantee is gonna happen. So, but anyway, it was a different vibe at SRF this year, and I think people are realizing that you don't have to do it all yourself, and when you build your community, it makes things easier. It alleviates a lot of the stress when you know that you have a team there behind you. It's nice. It's comforting. But there was definitely did you feel that, Corey, by the way? A different vibe at SRF this year. More community building than running around scared.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really notice.
Corey didn't notice. She was just hanging out with the butchers. 3 things you can count on: death, taxes, and Brian losing his stoic. I don't know who this Brian with a Y guy is. That might be a Canadian thing. Is that your friend in Canada? Brian with a Y. Whoever thought of that shit? Oh, man. So, yeah, find your people. Find your people. You guys know people locally? Does everybody? I mean, I know Jamie does. I know Jamie knows at least a couple people local. I know Rewilder Life. She's got a huge old network of folks. Do you have some local peeps that if shit goes sideways, that you at least have built relationships with? Do you know what their fears are? Do you know what their vulnerabilities are? Can you help them with that? Have you offered? It goes a long way to help somebody solve a problem when you need their help. It's a value for value proposition. I am more than willing to provide value to people with nothing expected in return. Because that's kind of just my MO. But more often than not, when you do that, Mike's Homestead doesn't like people. Neither do I necessarily. I don't like the wrong people. And the right people, there's not very many of them around. So that's the puzzle, is finding the right people. And I think the right people understand value for value, even if they don't know it, even if they don't know what it is called, even if they have never heard of it. I think the right people naturally understand value for value. I think the right people understand that when they receive help from someone and the people don't expect anything back, that it really makes that relationship stronger when they understand it and they accept it, and then they also provide value back. I remember Nicole talking. I think it was Nicole. They were talking about work days and things like that. And somebody asked a question about, well, how do you know you have the right people at the work days? How do you know you have the right people in your GSD crew? In your crew that, man, somebody's got to put up a fence, so we all get together and put up their fence, and then somebody's got to slaughter their cow, so we all get together and slaughter their cow. Her hauler crew, her, we all have our people that we would call if we needed to get something done. How do you know the right people are in those? And you really don't. But her answer was they usually weed themselves out, the wrong people. When everybody shows up and some work's getting done, if there's a lot of shit to do, if there's a little shit to do, whatever, people that aren't there for the right purposes feel very awkward. They feel like they don't fit. And eventually they stop coming. That's the long-term cycle. That's how you find out. You just have events. Not events. I don't want to say you got to throw an SRF or a work days or things like that. Have a chicken processing day. Ask some folks in the neighborhood to come over for a chicken processing day and offer them some chicken in return, or offer them some dinner, or whatever. See who shows up. See who helps. See who wants to learn. And then tell them, if you want to raise some chickens, I can help you do that, and we can get together and process chickens at your place. That's how you build that community. Mike's Homestead doesn't like people. John Palmer, I'm an introvert. My biggest weakness. Me too. Get around the right people. Get around the right people. I wasn't really good at it in Minnesota. I think I'm getting better at it. Finding them, figuring out where to look for them, figuring out how to spot the right people. It takes time. You'll get burned. You'll get burned, but it's a worthy cause to try to find some community close to you, because it really does matter when it matters. And it might never come to it. It might never come to a point where you need the many hands, or you need the help, or you need the place to crash, or you need help putting your roof back on, or pulling a tree off your house, or anything like that. It might never happen. I hope it doesn't. I hope there's never a time in anybody's life where they really need to rely on others. But man, if you put the work in now and the time comes, it's way easier. So think about it. Anyway, let's see. There's everything else on the list would take a long time, and we're up here about almost 10 after the hour. So we've been going for 70 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up. We'll get out of here today and come back on Hump Day. It's been a weird week. Corey's sitting out there. She's not working away. She's on her last day of vacation, so I'm excited to spend some time with her. Hunter says the homeless man that talks to himself every morning. Yeah. Dude, we should have a contest. We all pretend we're all our shit's going sideways and put the call out. John Palmer says, I've been cultivating a relationship with a local meat producer. That's a good one to cultivate. It sure is, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Actually, I'm gonna be on Nicole's show here coming up at 9:30 this morning. I believe we're talking Noster. I asked her what about Noster, and she said we're talking Noster. So we'll see. If you want to join in on that, I believe it's going to be on the Living Free in Tennessee network. I have on my Oh shit, is she Eastern? I should probably check out, figure out if she's in Eastern time zone or Central. 9:30, likely Central, possibly Eastern. That's that was one of those moments. I think the Eastern time zone starts way over by Knoxville. I think she might still be in. I think she might still be in Central. I better check. I'll be. Oh, Mike's home said she's in Central. Okay, 9:30 Central. I just had an oh shit moment there. We'd be out on dog walks. My phone would be blowing up. Are you going to join? We're talking Noster, I believe, this morning. That's what's on my calendar. So tune in. I don't claim to be lines over by Crossville. I don't claim to be a Noster expert by any means. But I have been using it for over a year and a half now. Have learned some tricks of the trade, have learned how to stream over there, have done some onboarding videos. So we're going to talk about it. We'll see what we get into. But that'd be 9:30 Central over on the LFTN channel. So anyway, guys, have a fantastic day. It's Tuesday. Get some stuff done. We'll roll into Wednesday, and that'll be halfway point for the week. Not sure what we'll talk about tomorrow, but hope you have an awesome day. You get stuff done. All your dreams and wishes and wants come true. Make it awesome, and we'll catch you tomorrow.